The good thing about him is he's the best gun salesman in the world.
Woo! Yes, he is.
Even though he may not know, not realize that was, that's the result. But I finally woke up, and I read up on the Constitution, and I learned to love the Constitution.
The Constitution loves you too, bro.
Others, you may know that to get involved. Now, of course, I was greatly no, I take that back. Sorry. But I also, when I started reading up on the U.S. Constitution, I started also reading up on the laws in Mexico. If you notice, I don't know if you ever drive down to Tijuana. If you ever did, you see a sign that says, "Guns and ammo are not allowed."
That's a lie.
And I laugh at the sign because the bad guys have them, but the law-abiding citizens are not allowed.
Thank you, Leland
Yee.
Yee.
Try to sneak it down there because you get in really big trouble. Okay? Now, what helped me wake up was my family. Having 2 daughters, having a wife, that makes you wake up. Okay? And I'm here because they gave me the strength to be here in front of you. And it's my responsibility to protect them. Our Creator gave me the responsibility.
That's right, you tell them.
Now, the attack and the disparagement on rifles is unconstitutional.
That's right.
We are already outmatched on firepower from the government.
And criminals.
And we can't possibly have a militia with purely handguns. Now also, California violates the Second Amendment. You can't open carry.
Say what?
And to get a concealed permit, it's almost impossible. So how can you be expected to protect your family or yourself or others?
With the smile before you get your teeth punched in.
I encourage you to also join other organizations that help me become more aware, such as NRA, CRPA, Gun Owners of America, Gun Owners of California, and the USCCA.
All of them acronyms.
Thank you for listening.
Woo!
All right, moving along. Next up from CalGuns is Andrew Mendez. Please welcome him.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? First and foremost, if you've ever been banned from CalGuns, it was not me, but it was Paul. Paul, say hi. Paul's the owner of CalGuns, so if you've been banned, you want to talk to him. All right everyone, my name is Andrew Mendez, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here in front of you today. I'm an organizer and community leader with CalGuns.net, which is California's premier online gun forum. And I've had the great pleasure of hosting shoots and meetups throughout this beautiful state. One of my favorites being the infamous super secret zombie shoot, where 300 to 400 of my closest friends get together in the middle of the California desert with a quarter-mile long firing range for a 3-day weekend of fun. And despite over a dozen of these events and literally thousands of participants with thousands of guns, we have yet to have one person get hurt. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the CalGuns family, we are far more than just an online gun forum. We are a community, a family, a group of men and women from all different backgrounds with like interest in shooting and preserving freedom. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting us all here today and putting together this event. I am honored to be here standing in front of you today to be part of history. And I am absolutely ecstatic at the amount of people who are here today on a 100-degree day in the name of freedom.
Yeah!
Today, we tell our politicians no more.
No more!
Today, we tell them that we will not allow them to continue taking our God-given right to self-defense away from us.
Hell no!
Today, we tell them that if they do not support our right to safely defend ourselves and families, not only will we vote against them, we will begin recall efforts to remove them from office.
In your career!
And I am pleased to announce that we are ready to start a full recall of State Senator Kevin DeLeon.
Get you out!
The absolute disregard displayed by politicians like Senator Kevin DeLeon and Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, who are having a pissing contest to see who can force more anti-gun legislation down our throats first, with Governor Jerry Brown signing within days so he didn't miss his vacation. Despite his office being flooded with thousands of calls from supporters like you, demanding he veto the bills is not only disgusting and against the oath of office they took to uphold the Constitution, it is probably the very reason most of you guys are here today.
It's criminal!
6 anti-gun bills were signed into law. 6! But the one bipartisan bill that was supported by both Democrats and Republicans, which would have made it a felony to steal any firearm, was vetoed.
What?
Make no mistake about it, my friends. These gun laws have absolutely nothing to do with public safety. You see, had they signed a bill into law that would have made stealing a firearm of any type of felony despite its price, our police officers would be able to prosecute more people and would be able to take these so-called low-level thugs off the street. But now, these people get a slap on the wrist and will be back in the streets in days, if not hours. But year after year, they create more laws that target law-abiding citizens like you, like me, like all of us. But the more people on the streets like this who commit these crimes, who steal these guns, the more gun crime we will have. The more gun crime we have, the easier it is for politicians to justify the need for additional gun control. Let me be clear. This has nothing to do with public safety and everything to do with control. These bills are designed and intended to harass gun owners and create a new class of crime and criminals out of those individuals who have sought to collect firearms for self-defense, sporting, and other lawful uses.
It's all right.
These bills further regulate the who, what, where, when, and why of how firearms can be sold, used, possessed, transferred, displayed, and more. Once passed, these bills have a tendency to spread throughout the country like a virus. The proponents of these bills create classes and groups of firearms to mitigate public outrage. We've all heard them. Assault weapons, Saturday night specials, sniper rifles, short barrel rifles, weapons of war. Such clever marketing has proven to be successful in their divide and conquer mentality and to further their agenda. With all these laws already in the books and more coming, it is important to know the evolution of California's gun control movement, beginning with its genesis. It was 1849, and people were coming to California in search of mountains laced with gold. California's population and wealth grew at an incredibly fast pace, with more than 60,000 people coming into the state that year alone. Relationships with the new settlers and the Native Americans was tense, to say the very least. Then Governor Peter Burnett publicly sought to exterminate Native Americans, but there was one problem. The natives have access to firearms.
Woo!
After a large multi-year propaganda effort and multiple failed attempts, on March 21st, 1854, Assembly Bill 80 was passed, making the sale of firearms and ammunition to Native Americans illegal.
Discrimination.
It was law for almost 60 years before it was repealed. This law would be the first of what would be dozens that specifically targeted a specific race. With the past few years of anti-gun legislation, it is easy to get frustrated with the amount of bills that have passed through our legislation. But I must ask you, how many of you have AR-15s that you purchased with a bullet button? How many of you have CCWs today that didn't 5 years ago? How many of you were able to purchase an off-roster handgun lawfully by the use of the single-shot exemption? Every person with an AR-15 with a CCW, with that handgun, likely owes thanks to our rebellious nature and the ability for people on our side to challenge these ridiculous and poorly written laws. For if there is a way to define these laws, I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, we have or will find a way to challenge it. We have a long way to go in regards to getting the state back to where it should be, especially with court cases taking damn near a decade to come to fruition, only to be subjected to en banc review, an extraordinary procedure rarely used, except of course in gun cases. But today, we have almost every single county issuing CCWs and hundreds of thousands of AR-15s with bullet buttons.
What's a
Starting
bullet
in
button?
2010, I've had the great pleasure of marching with the Pink Pistols, an LGBT pro-gun group, in the Gay Pride Parade. And we've done this in both Long Beach and West Hollywood. And we marched with these gorgeous rainbow Gadsden flags, and there's a couple of them here today, and we were chanting for carry rights. We marched through some of the most heavily dominated Democratic areas in the nation, and I was fully prepared to be booed and talked down to while marching through this event. But, much to my surprise, not only were we met with cheers, we had people joining our contingent from the sidelines because the people accepted what we were fighting for was liberty.
That's right.
And every year that we have participated since then has been met with greater support each time. I call that a huge win, a real change in people's hearts. And all day long, we can make this a Republican or Democratic debate, but I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, white, black, brown, or green. If you support my right to the Second Amendment, you are a friend and an ally to me.
Woo!
And if you do not know about the Second Amendment or the Constitution, I challenge each and every one of you to read it. To not only know about it, but to understand, regardless of what side of the fence you are on, the Second Amendment is the right that protects all the others.
Yes.
And I've had people ask me why I'm so passionate about gun rights. Why I just don't move to a more free state. To
What?
Give up on California.
This is America.
Well, I'm a family man. I have a gorgeous wife, 4 beautiful daughters, and finally, just 6 weeks ago, my wife and I had our only son, and they mean the world to me. And I look at it one simple way. I mean, I have 2 choices. I could sit down on my porch in 40 years telling my grandchildren about all the rights and privileges we had in this great state that we lost.
Boo.
Or I can tell them that their badass grandpa had the opportunity to witness and be a part of history.
That's right.
Anti-gun
Woo!
out of office, and to ensure that
Do it for the children.
all of us.
Do it for the children.
I assure you, my friends, in 40 years, while shooting an AR-15 with my grandchildren that I helped them build while smoking a cigar, it will be a story of great victory.
Woo! The ladies too.
We need each and every one of you to get involved. We need you to take your friend out shooting. We need you to educate people about firearms and firearm safety. Talk to your children, your parents, your co-workers, your siblings, and join the NRA and vote at every single election. Support pro-gun candidates with support and financially. Stop questioning what the NRA is doing in the state and just join, so that in 40 years, you can tell your children that you were part of the great gun rights battle in this beautiful state. Thank you.
Yeah.